She was kind and generous and very determined, very courageous. She stood up to her brothers. The family, her cousins and brothers, respected her a lot. They came to her for advice, and they used to call her Mr. Catherine, Mr. Isange, because she spoke her mind. I think because she was nice, people misunderstood her ability to stand up for her rights or the rights of her children. Her older sister's husband was a really nasty man. He was a really abusive man, and he used to beat my sister. When my mother heard about it, they lived in a different town, in a small village. And my mother went there and asked my sister to pack her things. Packed her things. And that's how she left. That's how my sister left her husband. My mother said, I'm not educated, but I know what it means to look after somebody properly. You don't respect this woman. My husband has never laid a finger on me. I don't beat my children. You don't have a right to do that. You're only married to her. You don't have a right to do that. That was honest. I think she was a very honest person. She was many things that I don't think I'll ever be. She was a great woman who I don't think ever realized her potential. She wanted to be a doctor. She helped a lot of people, even though she didn't have much. But I don't think it's because my father married my mother that my mother didn't realize her dreams. My mother's father never believed in educating a woman. She planted a lot of things, a lot of maize and beans and all those things. She knew I never liked farm work. And then she kept saying, that's why you should study, Because if you don't like to go to the farm, I said, no, I don't like worms and caterpillars. Whenever we went there, the first thing I'll do is I'll ask her to clear a patch, and I'll stand there and I'll put a cloth and I'll stand there in the middle, and then she'll say, okay, you go home and cook before we can. So I'll run. She'll go to the backyard, she'll pick like a snail, these little snails that go on the back of things, or she'll pick like a worm and tie it in a little leaf, and then she'll put her hands behind her back and say, I've got something for you. I say, oh, what? It's something nice that I picked. She said, open your hands. I'll open, she'll put it there. Oh, and I'll scream and I'll jump. Sometimes when we went to carry water, because we had this outside tap, we were standing on the tap carrying water, she would just say, look at all those women, they're wearing nice clothes and they have nice offices. Did you know the women there, He said, you could one day be like them, if you go to school. I cannot work in that office because I'm not educated. And she always used that, but in a nice way, not in any way that puts you under pressure. My mother was happy with my father. They were really happy with each other because it's 21 years on, my father never married. My father just felt there's nobody who can understand him like my mother did. And it's just a shame that I wasn't there when she died. I never said goodbye. Because I was in the university writing exams, and for some bizarre reason my brothers thought my exams were more important than me saying goodbye to my mother. And up to this day, I just feel she's not dead. Even she died in 1984. I left Cameroon in 86, and the 2 years they were real torture, because when I went to the market, I'll just be looking for her. Even though I saw her grave, I never saw her body. So for me, she never really died. And she was fresh in my mind, like, yeah, this is how I remember her. She can't go, she can't die. How can my mother die? I went back to Cameroon last summer. I still hope that I'll see her. How can she possibly die? She can't. Was she happy having 10 children? I'll never know. I never asked her why she had many children. But all I can suspect now is there was no contraception. So having children was just a natural thing to do. I don't think in her time, people stopped to say, no, let's not have a lot because we cannot look after them. And they did well with us, I think. My mother will be very proud of me now, teaching in the university, living in Britain, having a life that I want, not the life that other people want for me. But shame she's not here, but I think her spirit is out there watching and smiling and saying, she made it, she's free.
Mbusa papa, aile yamba nanambia, mbamo mbusa papa, aile yamba mutotomo, ndenongalena musambia mungona mendetomane, sinambana menendetiba, munanywe undi muyaiba, ina babongoe, onyolambi ya mongo na babongo ananango. Yo mambo tae bimeri, bia mongo mucha manende, o masuma wa senyesa. Bia mongo mwalima, mwatanya, musipeni mulema, musipitonje yendolo. Ina babongo, onyolambi ya mongo nani. Banuni yombusa papa, aile yamba nanambia. Mbamo mbusa papa, aile yamba mutotomo, ndenongalena musambia mungona mendetomane, sinambana menendetiba, munanywe undi muyaiba, ina babongoe, onyolambi ya mongo na babongo.